It's Tom Barrass.
Now it goes deep.
Barrass!
My man! He was up there for an eternity.
Kicks towards half forward. Now they're out the back. Melksham dragged down by Barrass. Brilliant tackle.
He's never kicked the goal. Is that right?
I think that's right.
He could do it in his 100.
Wow.
Tommy Barrass.
I'm expecting a floater to go straight through the middle.
Game 100 for Big Tommy from 49 metres.
In he comes. Now,
Yes.
Tommy, I need to clear up something with you right off the top. When you were about to make your debut, which is a while ago now, back in the Perth days, knew your old man, the late, great Tony, and I thought, righto, Barrass or Barrass?
Yes.
So I'm going to go straight to the source. So I got his number. I rang him. Ring, 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 ring. Tony Barrass. I said, it's James Brayshaw here, mate. You've just answered my question. How do you want your young bloke's surname to be pronounced? And Barrass it is. What a legend, by the way. We're going to get to Tony in a minute. But welcome to Melbourne.
Yes.
Welcome to Hawthorn.
Oh, thanks for having me, lads. It's great to be on the show. And yes, he was pretty stern on it. Was Barrass, and he actually told me about that moment.
Did
Said
he?
the press called me, and I had to clear it up for him, and I went with Barrass.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
The WA commentators were calling you Barrass
Well, the
in
great
that.
Dennis Committee.
Oh, yeah. Was that your one and only goal still? You've played 150 games, Thomas.
Yeah, I've kicked a point too.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
we
I've
better
kicked a
drag
point
that
one
out.
time, yeah, as well.
So one
it's actually
goal.
7. Yeah, one goal, yeah. On my 100th, it was a bit magical, and it was from a 50-metre penalty.
Oh, well
so
done.
it's kind of 0 organic goals, to be honest. Really.
Doesn't matter. Just take it. No one needs to know. It's
That's
like
it.
getting a birdie in golf. So what brought you, was it the fact that you'd played with Sammy Mitchell and had a connection? What brought you to the Hawks?
That's a great question. Look, ultimately, I think I was just ready for a change in my life. I was sort of out of gas doing what I was doing on the West Coast. I've loved that footy club, always have, and it's been such a big part of my life, but it was just time for me to do something different, and it was going to mean another career. And yeah, Sam Mitchell, reached out, and I'd played with him in 2017, and he was a coach of mine in 2018. I had a lot of respect for the way he went about things, and his outlook on not just football, but life, and he's a very fundamentalist sort of guy, and so I really took a liking to that, and yeah, rest is history.
Good.
Big call, because you're a WA boy, 150 games, a very, very good play over there. So to leave the West Coast Eagles must have been bloody tough.
It was the toughest thing I've ever done, for sure. And like I said, I think the whole process has taught me that, at that point in time, when you do take that risk and you are going through a really hard time, on the other side of it, is the right thing for you.
Yep.
It's a symptom of you're actually going through good personal growth, and you're ready for the next thing. And so it was really tough, and there was a lot of suffering in that whole move of across the country.
Yeah.
And leaving my football club that raised me, that developed me. However, it's really shown me that the time was right to do something new with my life and to prioritise what I wanted in
It's
life.
ballsy.
Oh,
A lot of people wouldn't do that,
No,
Tim.
true, but
You know?
you've landed at a bloody good place at a bloody good time.
Yeah.
I mean, they need a big defender, so you couldn't have fit in better in that sense. But the club's airborne.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. It's a really good environment. It's
Yeah.
a really good environment, and it's reaffirmed a lot of my ideas about football and about teamwork. And I got to tip my hat to the administration, the organisation there, and the players. They've been running a good program for a number of years, and they've got some really great characters in there.
All right,
They have.
I've got to ask you.
Hang on. You've been working on your selfies at Hawthorn.
Oh, I haven't yet. No.
Do they have training
No.
sessions where they look at celebrations and selfies?
No, I think that's for your personal upskilling away from the club. Yeah.
Jack
Yes.
Gunston,
Yes.
at the Best and Fairest
Yes.
last year, said these kids make me not want to have children. That's what he was quoted
He
as
did,
saying, Tommy.
yes.
Look, I think if he spent a bit more time around any kid, he might have the same thought.
Very diplomatically
Yeah,
handled.
he
I know.
should come and hang out with my kids.
I'll tell you. Well, tell us about Thomas Donald Barrass. Married? Yes.
Married in 1 month, maybe more like 28 days sort of thing. Valentine's Day, lads.
So you've been
nice.
married for a year.
No,
About
not
to get married.
About to get married.
Oh, but you got 2 kids.
I got 2 bastards, yes.
What's going on? Hey, Tom, you seem like a very decent, straight down the line bloke, and you're out on the On the side, just well, not on
no,
the side.
yeah.
Out of wedlock. Out of wedlock, Tommy.
Yeah, my faith wavered there for a bit, but I'm back, and I'm
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be married in front of the big boy God himself. So
Good.
you know, hopefully he forgives me.
And the kids' names. Have a listen to this, Jimmy
Go
boy.
on.
What are they?
Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy Barrass. I like
Girl
it.
or
Yeah.
boy?
He's a boy.
Boy, yep.
Both boys.
Both boys.
And my other one's Benson. My
Benson.
younger one's Benson.
BBs.
Yeah, both B's. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Do you love footy? We're finding a little bit out about our man here, Jim. All right.
Thank you, Bill.
Do you like football? Do you like football shows? Do you listen to the radio? Do you read the papers?
I love football,
Yes.
and I pretended and fought myself in thinking that I didn't for a long time, and it's really only since I've probably had kids that I've realised that I actually do really enjoy sport and like watching sport.
Yeah.
But I don't like watching or listening to any of the secondary football media, commentary shows, or any
Nothing.
rubbish like this.
Like this.
Jeez, he's got us.
I know, he's pegged us.
Absolutely perfect, actually.
So what are you into? Music.
Yeah, I'm into music. Yep. Like I said, I've been discussing. Got 2 kids, so that occupies a fair bit of my
Yes.
time. And yeah, football in my job I take quite seriously. I've still got some goals that I want to achieve there, but music's a big passion of mine away from footy, and I've just undertaken on a little passion project to do with that too, which is really exciting.
Oh, do you want to tell us about it or you can't?
I can tell you about it.
Mhm.
It's named Pass the Orcs.
Orcs as in AUX.
AUX Auxiliary.
I saw that written down. I had no idea what AUX was, Jim.
And what is it?
Yeah, what is it?
So it's meant to be a radio show.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's myself and my co-host Matt. We talk about music and we play tunes, and it exists within a Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
So that the artists themselves get the streams, and so hopefully we can value add and create a new audience through sort of our love of music itself. And then we invite some guests to come on and share their musical journey.
Yeah.
Ask them about their story and how music sort of fits in with them. And we're really loving the magic of hearing a story, getting the context, and then the song comes in and you go to that moment with that person. So Pass the Orcs, check it out on
Pass the
Spotify.
Spotify.
Spotify on
AUX.
YouTube.
That's it.
Yeah.
A little break,
All right.
and then more with Tommy.
I know.
Our man.
He's an intelligent bastard.
He's got you covered.
I know.
More with Tom Barrass next on the Rush Hour Triple M. JB and Bill, this is Triple M's Rush Hour. Tom Barrass from the Hawthorn Footy Club has stuck around. By the way, you can get a Hawthorn membership now at membership.hawthornfc.com.au.
Barrass, Rebs.
Tom
We
Barrass.
established that off the top.
Come on.
And it's because I rang your old man, who I've known for I knew for years, Tony, who's a legend, by the way, not with us anymore, sadly.
A journo.
A legend in the journalistic caper in the West. I'll tell you a bit about this man.
Righto.
Back in the day, in 1989, when I was still living in Western
Yeah,
Australia,
before you got kicked out.
I went to South Australia. This man would not cough his sauce up on a story and went to jail, didn't he?
That is correct, yeah.
You got to admire that.
Mate,
Wouldn't give
it
the
was
source.
a huge story in the West at the time.
Yeah.
The court said, you've got to cough up where you got the information from. He said, I'm not doing it.
that.
And went to jail, the great man.
Went to jail, yeah. And he has a few great stories out of it. He always talked it up, you know.
Yeah,
2 years in maximum security, Alcatraz even. And but he spent maybe 2 or 3 nights in maximum security, and then he went out to the prison farm for the remainder of his sentence. But at his time at the maximum security prison, he shared his cell with a bloke called Greybeard,
Right.
who was a bank robber from like Geraldton.
Yes.
And he used to rob a bunch of banks, and they couldn't find him. He was on the run for like 5 years, and the reason was because he wore a fake grey beard.
Right.
Yeah, so he's only like 40.
Fair dinkum.
Yeah, but he dressed up as a 7-year-old and rolled in and robbed the banks.
I like it.
Yeah, and he always told that story, and him and Greybeard were pen pals until the day that he died. Yeah.
Wow, that's nuts. No, he was a legend in the West.
Yes.
Very, very highly regarded and a very good man, my memory of him was. All right, so Claremont boy as well. How much did you play footy at Claremont?
Yeah, I played footy at Claremont.
Colts only, or?
I played, only Colts and some reserves.
And then where did you go to school, if you don't mind?
I went
me
to
asking?
Hale School.
Oh, yeah. So
Any
under
good,
Johnny
Jim?
and Verarity? Was he
no,
gone by then?
No, he was gone
He
by
was
then.
gone. Oh,
Under
no,
Stuart
Hale's a
Mead.
beautiful school.
What score in year 12 did you get?
I got 98.3.
That's decent. Fat.
So, what, is that good?
I reckon if you
is
put
that good?
I reckon if you put you, me, and Rabs together, we wouldn't quite get to 98.
I got 48. Yeah. So, and what do you do now? You're studying chemistry or something, are you?
I'm studying philosophy at UWA, which I've got to try and figure out how to finish now that I'm living in not WA.
Philosophy.
Which is great. I really love that degree, and I think it's some of the knowledge that I've learnt in it's going to really be very valuable in the years to come. So I think I'll try and finish that off in the next couple of years and probably try and get on with some other interests.
What will you become? Well, I mean, tell me where you'll be in 10 years, Tom.
Hopefully on the south coast of WA.
You go
in
back?
Walpole or Denmark or something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I was just down there for a wedding. Denmark, beautiful part of the world.
beautiful part of the world. Yeah, I think. Oh, look, ultimately, I'd love to spend as much time with people that I love in the sort of community and in my family.
Yeah.
And try and make everything work outside of that in terms of yield and investment. But look, I think I'd just love to contribute to ideas that I believe in any way that I can.
So, Tommy.
Yield and investment. I don't know if we've had those two words together in this show, Jim.
No, that's good. You played obviously many years at the West Coast Eagles, and you would have been on the list when my nephew Hamish was on the list. A man who's practicing to be a idiot. Do you agree with me or not?
I don't think he's practicing. I think he's mastered it. He has mastered it. And I think,
What's wrong with him?
I think he's got this problem, and it's called genetics.
Ah,
His
yes.
father.
Yeah, it's hereditary.
It
I'm
is.
pretty sure.
He's got it from his father.
Hey, speaking of the West Coast Eagles, Harley Reid, have you seen a bigger hype in your life
No, I haven't.
as Harley Reid
No, I
over
haven't.
there?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
And how good is he?
He's so good.
He is,
He's
isn't
so good. He really is.
Good
And,
country boy.
Good country boy. Big hands, strong as hell, and just keen to wrestle you, keen to take you down. He's not scared of anyone. He's the man, Harley, and he's a good, really good kid too.
Yeah.
So no, I haven't, and that's half the problem is that no one has, so no one can really help him with it in a sense. And the West over there are blowing him up, and I'm learning through watching Harley.
Yeah.
And as I did with Nick Nat, who's a very big deal
Yes.
as well, icon, and I'm sure Cuzzy had it as well, is that you are what you eat in the sense. And when kids see Harley Reid on the newspaper every day for 50 days in a row,
Yeah.
they absolutely love him and idolise him. And I'm at a clinic, I'm a 10-year player, premiership player, best and fairest, and it's like no one even knows who I am. There's 400 8-year-olds
over there.
at Harley Reid chanting, doing they're just the actual, actually watching it is something that's really interesting and fascinating because I've never seen anything like it.
Well, a great example of that exact thing is Sam Constas. I've just watched him play 2 test matches for Australia at age 19.
Yeah.
And the same thing. The pre-match, Steve Smith is standing there, who's made 10,000 test runs at 57. Might be in the top 2 or 3 of the best players this country's ever produced. Every kid only wants to speak to one bloke.
Yeah, Sam.
This 19-year-old kid who's just exploded.
He has.
It's incredible to watch that happen.
It is. It's incredible. And, it's a double-edged sword for Harley and Nick and Cuzzy and everyone.
Sam.
And especially Sam, especially in a smaller town like that where there's less volume here. There's lots of AFL players. There's more volume where, he's the one star in the whole of the state.
Yep.
And so, it comes with great responsibility, but, it also comes with, great opportunity to be able to capitalise on doing things that you love doing. And I think Harley's a bright enough kid to go and figure that out one day.
Every West Coast player says the same thing
they
to
do.
me. And it makes me feel good because we went and beat the Gold Coast Suns in that last game that meant nothing.
yeah,
and
exactly.
therefore we didn't get a once-in-a-generation player
yeah.
who's going to tear the comp to shreds.
Well done.
No, that was good.
Now tell us, do you know where Dingley is?
Yes, I know where Dingley is.
And the new footy, what is it? The Kennedy Community Centre.
Yeah.
New Hawthorn headquarters is going to
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
We're hearing a lot about it. Have you been out there and seen it?
Yeah, I have. I've seen it up on the perch. Yeah, and it's a fantastic development.
2 grounds?
Yeah.
No,
It's
it looks
got 2 grounds,
unbelievable.
been laid just before Christmas, so they're getting a bit of time in the earth. And then the facility's sort of 60 to 70% developed, I'm pretty sure, in terms of
Great.
how long it is till it's done. And no, it's looking really good. I've been informed there's a heat room in the players' room or something like that
You
from
need that.
Jakey today. So, no, it seems like it's going to be a really great initiative for the footy club, and then also great capacity to bring other industry in the community to that area.
Right idea. Plenty of members at Hawthorn. How do we join up?
Membership.hawthornfc.com.au, Bill.
Yes,
I've enjoyed this. 2 Claremont legends.
Yeah.
So,
But a bit
premiership
smart for
players
us.
and then you 2. So we should have just had this chat on our own. Because Tommy's aware of the Brayshaw legacy at the Claremont Football
shut
Club.
up,
It's
Tim.
actually quite
I
extraordinary.
would actually like a little refreshener if you don't mind.
No, we haven't got time. Shut up.
Step aside, Tommy. I'll
the
give you
podcast-
10 of my best minutes.
The podcast is past the...
Pass the Orcs.
Orcs,
It's on
that's it.
Spotify and YouTube. PTA.listen on Instagram if you want to check it out. We'd love you to come and join us on our little sonic journey and our musical exploration.
Good.
You got to listen in the playlist. Make sure you're listening in the playlist so you can get the music and so you can hear the sort of songs that solidify the stories.
Tell us about the McGovern Foundation.
So, Jim, the McGovern Foundation is a foundation founded by Andrew and Jeremy McGovern.
Yep.
2 of my very good friends out of Western Australia. Jeremy, 5-time All-Australian. He reminds me of it all the time. Andrew spent 20 years working for Clontarf.
Yep.
And helping Indigenous kids get through school. However, he sort of noticed a bit of a gap in the system in that it wasn't really improving the employment outcomes for the kids who were getting through school because they still face lots of barriers to get their driver's license.
Yep.
So the McGovern Foundation runs a program named the Wanderer Program, which is a driver mentor program for disadvantaged kids who can't gain their license. So we, as the Wanderer Program, provide the resources necessary for participants to go from start, which might be identity documents, learner's permit, just getting to the driving centre, all the way through the P plates. So you get 50 hours of mentor, or in Victoria, what's the, is it 120?
Not 120, yeah.
120 hours of mentoring, which, for everyone, that is a lot of time in the
lot of
car,
time.
a lot of resources. The car itself, Rego, it's actually quite a resource intense thing. So we want to provide that opportunity for people who would otherwise be unable to get their license, so we can change their employment outcomes as well as their community participation and social outcomes.
Brilliant. McGovern Foundation.
star, our man.
He is. Bloody oath he is. No,
Good
any
boy.
time you want to drop by, Tommy, you are very welcome.
Thank you. Well, let me say, if if you're a corporate and you're interested in a partnership and you want to make change in the community, please reach out. We're looking for corporate partnerships and sponsorships so that we can launch a program here in Victoria as well to help those who otherwise wouldn't be able to gain employment.
That's the McGovern Foundation Tom is talking about. Tom Barrass on the Rush Hour. Triple M.